Summer skincare routine can be a bit tricky. It's another season to change, another thing to look for. So I'm here to share my personal summer care routine with all of you. But sometimes you need a place to start. So where do you begin and what do I start thinking about? So summer is a pretty active season for me. I love being outdoors a lot more. I tend to be up a little earlier. The sun pops up and gets me out of bed, and I just want to start my day right away with really good skincare, but also thinking about what I'm going to be doing all day long and how I want to make sure that the selections that I choose are going to be the most effective for me all day long. And it's not only about the day, it's also about what I'm going to do at the end of the day as well in my routine for summer. So I think some of the very important things that I really ensure that I have and ready to go is actually clothing, funny enough. I like to have a couple hats on standby. I always make sure I have good eyewear. I do wear prescription glasses. So when I'm outdoors, I want to make sure I've got good sunglasses on because that really does protect my eye area and keeps the reflective rays off of my face. Protective clothing. I know some days it get really, really warm, so I do try to find clothing that are looser fitting, cooler, maybe usually a lighter fabric because then it won't attract the heat. Long sleeves, I know it's tricky all the time, but definitely looking at my clothing and what I'm wearing also that becomes protective for my skin and actually keeps my body temperature cool. The regular things is if I have a tote or a bag with me, still stay well hydrated. Making sure I'm super hydrated is really important because with heat, we tend to lose, we sweat, we lose the salts, and we become dehydrated on top of that. So I have a water bottle with me. Sometimes I put maybe a juice inside of it or something with electrolytes. It's also something happening. So I really do follow with that. And I think something that all of us should also pay attention to, I'll talk about my skincare routine as well, but part of my routine is also to make sure that my lip balm or whatever I'm using on my lips also has an SPF in it. I do tend to use SPF all year round, but also just paying a little extra attention to the lip area for sure. And oh my gosh, don't forget your neck and your décolleté. I think in the winter months, we tend to cover up a little bit more. So again, I'm also making sure that I'm paying attention a little bit more where I'm going to be more exposed and pay more attention to products to those areas, including the body. So what are some of the products that we could go for is just your basic routine. So you have a daily routine and I have a weekly routine. Today I'm just going to focus primarily on the daily routine. So what I would do in the morning, what I keep with me throughout the day, and then what I'm going to do in the evening. So before I get started on all that, don't forget to hit subscribe, and of course to get the notification bell hit so that you don't miss any of our new videos coming up. Okay, so in the steps that I would do every day, of course I'm gonna wake up and I'm going to cleanse my skin. So in the summer months, I like light and fluffy and refreshing, okay? So I tend to pick more of a lightweight cleanser for my mornings, and what I'm gonna share with you today that I'm going to use is our kombucha microbiome foaming cleanser. I like it, okay, so a couple things. It has the micellar water, which is super light and also will ensure that my skin feels really clean, but it's not like a scrub or an abrasive treatment for my skin. And basically, really, to be fair, I can use this at night too. So this could be a really good day and night for my routine. And depending on what I'm doing in my activities, sometimes I really want to make sure my skin is super clean and ready. So we'll do more of a gentle style of exfoliation for my skin in the summer months. So I may want to move to, and I have actually, and I'm going to this year for sure, is I'm going to shift to more of a daily light exfoliation treatment for my skin. And I'm going to do that in a toner. So more on that in just a moment. So I will use a exfoliating toner. So it's super lightweight. Now that might not be for all of you, so you may want to do similar, but maybe break it down to 3 times a week. Perfectly fine. The goal is to really get that texture evened out, try to make sure that my pores are cleared up because one of the biggest things we're going to wear all day is going to be sunscreen. So hold that thought. After I do my exfoliating toner I'm going to move through and just do my finishing almost right away. So I'm going to pick my serum. And the serum I will not and absolutely cannot live without, in particular all year round, but in the summer months in particular, is the Citrus and Kale Potent C and E Serum. So this is like #1 reminder all the time on my skin prior to leaving on any of the other finishing products. From there, depending on how hot the day is going to be, check the temperature every day so you have a pretty good idea what's going on. I may go right into my SPF moisturizer, or I'm gonna bump it up, I'm gonna add more hydration to the skin. So I can do this either in another serum, or I really, and I'm a huge fan of this, is our gorgeous Strawberry Rhubarb Hyaluronic Hydrator. Silky, really light, almost like it's a gel with a bit of a creaminess to it, so it really feels like it is hydrating and moisturizing a bit to the skin. Makes an amazing base for an SPF, especially if they're all mineral. Then I will go in with my SPF product. I do take my time. I ensure that I have great coverage. I really want to build in the areas where I'm going to maybe, well, where my sunglasses are. When I get warmer, my skin is going to give it maybe more perspiration will happen around the nose area, beside the ear. So those are areas that will rub. So meaning that you may lose some of your SPF throughout the day if it's sitting and rubbing. So that's why you really want to ensure that you're taking that little bit of extra time all year round, of course, but especially when we're paying more attention about it in the summer, is I love to work in sections and really ensure that my SPF is locked and loaded on my skin well, and then I go in another round and do that extra double layer protection on the areas where I know I'm gonna get some friction, and of course, down the neck, all across the chest, but I also capture the back of my neck because I tend to wear my hair up in my hat. I think many of us who have longer hair will always, or you have a neck exposed, do not forget to cover the back of your neck. So that would be like my face part. And then I want to move into what I'm going to do for my body care, of course, right? So for the body, you can prep your skin too. So most of us shower or bathe, I hope, that our skin is a little bit more exposed in the warmer months. So we want to also make sure the skin is ready there. So you can cleanse your body, of course. So making sure you're using a good cleansing agent on the skin, and then you can exfoliate. So please be mindful of your exfoliating ingredients. You don't want to be too abrasive or too rough. So I'm a super fan of like sugar scrubs, and I think I've got one here. Yeah. So I have our gorgeous coconut sugar scrub here as well. It's like a sugar base. So it's got this amazing granule to it. But as soon as you like scrub it through onto the body, it just like melts and disappears. Oh, and it feels like I'm in Hawaii when I'm in the shower. So it's a really good piece to have. And you could do this a few times a week. Some of us out there might do waxing, all of those. This is going to be very gentle and non-irritating to the skin as well. So really great way to prep. Don't need to do it every day, as I mentioned. 2-3 times a week is really good, but also think about your days, what you're doing, and the additional buildup you might have. You may want to exfoliate more often, which is perfectly fine. Then after I've exfoliated, when I've stepped out, I want to make sure my skin is super hydrated, because the more hydrated my skin is, the better everything is going to work and the longer it's going to last. So we really do have an amazing body cream lotion here. It's our Strawberry Rhubarb Hyaluronic Body Lotion. Why do I like this one? Why is this on the top of my list right now? I put it on and it's in. On and in. I can dress pretty quickly right after it. So it's nice to know when you're just like moving around, you're switching around, maybe put shorts on, then you're like going to a barbecue, you're doing all these other things. You want to stay well hydrated. This is a gem. This really goes on super easy and glides. Plus it smells like a strawberry smoothie. So it's fabulous. So I definitely am a huge fan at the moment. And but I still have to make sure I'm SPF protected. So I've got my Lilikoi Mineral Defense Sports Sunscreen. As you know, I mentioned I like to do a little bit more things outdoors. I like to spend time outside. So I want to make sure this is like really effective. You could do a double layer up on your chest. Just note that layering different SPF factors does not make them higher. Just for me, sometimes it's just like comfort feeling that I've got full coverage. But again, for your arms, hands, big deal. Okay, make sure that you're covering up your hands as well. So using a body SPF is perfectly fine for that. And this goes in my tote. So this comes with me throughout the day. I may not need to apply as often to my face, but I definitely am going to need to reapply to my arms and my legs because usually that's where I'm rubbing a little bit more. It might come off because I'm just doing more movement. So I wanted to share, there's that. And then for the extra glow or dewy effect that some of us might, maybe on my shoulders, or maybe let's just think of it this way. What if I've done my whole day, I'm out doing my stuff, I've got my body sunscreen on, I'm all good, but I need to go do something afterwards. I may want to take a quick rinse in the shower, I might want to remove the day real quick, and then I want to kind of start fresh. For my body care, I might go ahead and then use our amazing Yuzu Solid Body Oil. A little bit more of a moisturizing body product. So after being exposed during the day or being busy, I want to really make sure that I've got all that moisture and it's all locked and loaded really well into my skin from the whole day. So it kind of gets me into the next part of the day, in the evenings, so then I can enjoy it there. Plus, if I've got little sundress on, I can do a little extra glow on my shoulders, which is really nice as well. So for any of you who are looking for that extra special touch, I really do highly recommend our Yuzu Solid Body Oil. So to see more really cool things on what you can be doing when you're transitioning through seasons, go check out this video over here.